Let the bloodshed begin. Let's dance. Without mercy.
Is that fear I smell?
I've made my choice. If you run, you won't see me stab you.
Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Today I'll show you how to play Katarina. Skill sequence is the standard Q max followed by E and W, prioritizing the damage and mobility first. Her ultimate deals massive AoE damage around her while also applying grievous wounds, so always put points into this ability whenever possible. Alright guys, so we will be starting out with the Q level 1 here, and that is because that allows us to stay back and then we can use that to farm with. So it can hit up to 3 opponents and then it will deal behind the dagger, and if you step on that dagger guys, it is going to deal AoE damage around her. And it is also going to reduce the cooldown of your E. And that dagger that's left behind, that's where most of Katarina's damage is at. We just have to stay back here guys, and then when our Q is ready, then we try to get the farm we can. Of course you are going to miss a lot of CS early on because the opponent will be trying to poke you whenever you walk up, so get the minions you can and don't sacrifice too much HP. It's also fine to just get the XP for it in the early stages. For level 2 you get the blink. That is why you can start looking for kills if the opponent messes up. As you can see, we have a lot of early game burst, especially because we have the electrocute. So of course you want to make sure that in a combo guys, you make sure that the opponent gets hit by the dagger that's left behind, because as I mentioned early on, that is most of Katarina's damage, that is also her wave clear, so very important that you try to hit that. Of course that is a part of her passive as well, and the second part of her passive will make it so her abilities will the cooldown will be lowered by 15 seconds whenever you get a takedown, so it has to be either a kill or an assist. There's a champion that is based on resets. If you manage to get resets in fights, then you can keep spamming your abilities and that way pick up a lot of kills and become really mobile. Your W guys is the ability you take level 3. What it does is that it also leaves a dagger behind and then it gives you some temporary movement speed. So level 4 here we actually have a decent amount of damage because we have 2 points in your Q. But when you look for an early all-in combo guys, you want to E to the target and then W them, so you place a dagger below you, so you pick that up and then you reset the cooldown of your E once more. But usually Katarina early game, you won't really pick up a lot of kills. Sometimes the opponent will mess up and then you can abuse that. Otherwise it is a champion that is very reliant on roaming. That is so unfortunate. She's going to survive with like 1 HP. That's fine though. So we got a summoner, so that means that next kill, we can actually flash her here. You can see, just waited for the E cooldown, and then E in, and then E out again. As I mentioned, your passive will reduce your current cooldowns by 15 seconds, so you can use that to get into a fight and then escape again. Now E guys, you can E to the enemy units or allied units. On the first base here, get a dark seal. Because Katarina is a champion that is very reliant on snowballing, so if you manage to get a lot of Dark Steel stacks, then you can upgrade that to the Magi Soul Steel and then you can snowball that way. Bit unfortunate here. Freeze for Lux. We can't really stop it though because we were super low HP, but not going to hurt us too much because we ended up with a kill, so it's alright for us right now. We just have to get that level 6 and then maybe we can look for another kill. Even though we are really strong level 6 guys, we also have to respect Nocturne, because when he is level 6 then Katarina is a really easy gank. Alright, we got our ultimate up, so that is a AoE damaging ability guys. She will be dealing both physical and magic damage, so it's very hard to counter it. Now see, we are moving bot as soon as we got that level 6 right here. This is what Katarina does, she just AFK roams all game. It's not a champion you will be farming with lot. It's not a champion that you get high CS number with either guys. Your goal is just to roam and then you snowball through kills. So we got the summoners on the first gank, so that means next gank should be pretty free for us. I can't really recall here, so you can go for Caitlyn. E in and then W guys, so you can reset your E and then you can jump to the other dagger. And that's a very important engage combo. This is a bit unfortunate because I actually didn't think there was... I thought he ulted to Senna, but apparently not. Also didn't think there was vision there, so that's my mistake. But it's, your ultimate is basically the reason that you don't have to buy Grievous Wounds on Katarina, because it will apply to all nearby enemy champions. So she is very good against champions who rely a lot on healing, because she's going to shut them down in fights. The teammates don't necessarily have to buy it either. Because when you want to wave clear, use that Q and that W, so you can pick up those daggers and then use them to deal AoE damage with. So you can push waves really fast as well.
Ready for trouble?
Now even though you try to reset your E with your daggers guys, there's still a small delay before your E is fully reset, but it scales with levels. So at level 16 guys, that's why it's almost instantly, so the moment you pick up a dagger, then your E pretty much ready instantly. Right here is of course this champion snowballs really hard. It is one of the hardest snowballing champions in the game, mainly because of a passive. So if you give Katarina a kill in team fights, then it's pretty much GG's. So everybody will be focusing you down, so it's very important that you're super patient and you really wait for the enemies to use their CC abilities before you hop in. Now some of you are probably thinking that it's weird that I'm getting the Seeker Sandguard even though I'm playing against Lux, and that is because Nocturne is really fed right now and the enemy ADC is also winning, so I want to make sure that I don't get one shot whenever he tries to gank me, because he has that ultimate, so it's very easy for him to get close, right? So that Seeker Sandguard is gonna help me survive and not get one shot. And that is completely fine to do. I'm already winning mid lane, so Lux can't really do anything to me, so it's very good that I'm itemizing defensively. It's very important that I stay alive in fights and really reset those abilities and keep going. I have a lot of damage that I need to make sure that I pump out in fights.
Let's dig.
It's very hard to kill Luxtor if she decides to play safe because she has the long range abilities, so she can just stay AFK under a tower and then farm from there. So usually you just look to roam all the time, guys. It is hard to roam if your lanes keep shunning the waves. There we go. This is why I played really defensive early on, because Nocturne has his ultimate up and I actually tried to bait it and it did work out pretty well. So I made sure that I only engage when I have allied minions behind me, so in case Nocturne ulted me, then I could E out. And this is a really good fight right here. You can see I'm using this combo a lot. This is like Katarina's main combo. You E in, then you press W, and then you press Q. So place down 2 daggers that you can use to reset your E with. That way you can make sure that you get close towards the target, and that's also how I made sure that I catch Caitlyn. So guys, the first core item you'll be purchasing is the Nashor's Tooth, because your ultimate also applies on hits. Your abilities apply on hits, some of them, so you get a lot of bonus damage from it, and it's actually a stronger spike than any mythic item you can buy on Katarina. That's why you always get it before your first mythic item, because it has so good synergy with her abilities. I'm just gonna go ahead and get the components here, and then on our next base hopefully we can buy the Nashor's Tooth, and that's where Katarina really starts spiking. That's why she becomes really strong, and that's why the opponent really have to start respecting her. The Nocturne is really fits, of course. That is why I have that Seeker Soundguard, so at least make sure he doesn't one-shot me. He's still going to win in an extended fight, but I'm not letting this guy go. He has such a massive bounty, I really want it. So I have my W up soon, use that for movement speed bonus, and then E in and ignite. Jen is really strong early on, guys, but we can easily 1 versus 1 him later on. We just have to let this guy go. We have volleyball flanking as well, so maybe we can pick up kills. So now we can recall. We have a first big power spike. You always want to make sure that if you get the Nashor's Tooth, then you want it if possible as your first or second item. A lot of Katarina's damage abilities works with on hit, so you really apply that passive as well. It also works with attack speed. You get a lot of damage just from one single item. Right, my teammates are starting to pop off, that's great, so I don't have to be the only one. We have a massive bounty as well, and okay, Nocturne is bottom side, so we don't have to worry about his ultimate. Now when you want to teamfight and skirmish with Katarina, of course, the main thing you have to keep in mind is what kind of CC the opponents have, because they can cancel your ultimate, right? So you want to keep that in mind, and then you also want to flank so you can one-shot one of the squishies, like get behind and one-shot the squishies so you can reset your abilities and then you can keep going. So as an assassin, your main targets are the squishy champions, so you want to be going for the Caitlyn and the Lux. Now you can start building towards the mythic item. So the proto build, that is for the one-shot Katarina build. It gives a lot of burst damage and a lot of mobility as well. And more importantly, that passive gives you magic pen, so it's very good for the early game. Helps a lot with the one-shotting. Had to watch out for Nocturne. He probably has his ultimate up now. That's why I'm playing a bit passive even though I have such a massive lead, because I don't want to give that away for free. But we can pretty much dive Lux at this point because we have so much damage. Just have to watch out for the Nocturne. I do have my flash up as well.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
If you run, you won't see me stab you. Ready for
The thing is, even though you are fed, Nocturne can still easily 1v1 you at this point in the game because he has that fear, so he makes sure that you can't escape and also that you can't use any abilities, and will also cancel your ultimate. On top of that, he also has really high DPS, so if we want to win this fight, then we have to burst him down really fast. Wow, that Olaf was very greedy, but in the mid game, guys, Katarina is not a split pusher, but you can still go to the sidelines because she's pretty good in 1v1s, right? As long as you aren't playing against someone who has a ton of CC, then you can usually win the fights. I waited here to see if Nocturne would recall, because then I could go in 1v2 and get the kill on Caitlyn. Yeah, even though Katarina isn't a champion where you get really high CS numbers, if you look at any Katarina main, none of them have great CSing, because this isn't a champion that you will be farming with a lot. Just AFK roam, you pick up a lot of kills and then you snowball to item leads. Of course, since I'm snowballing this game, then I'll be purchasing the Meta Soul Steel, guys. You only buy this if you are snowballing. If you don't, then you can just stay on the Dark Seal and then you proceed towards your core items. So if you don't have any kills at this point, you can just start building towards the Rocket Belt. The Meta Soul Stealer is only something you want to be purchasing if you are snowballing, guys. If you don't, then just skip it. It is not worth it. You want to make sure that you have stacks when you buy it. As you can see, I'm waiting patiently here. I'm not going in immediately, guys, because I just waited for them to use the CC. A lot of your teammates will probably be ping spamming you and telling you to go in, but you have to be really patient. It is very important, because if you are not, guys, then people will just CC you to death, and Katarina is very squishy, so it's very easy to shut her down. So just stay patient like I did. Keep in mind what kind of CC abilities they use, and if they used everything, then you can just hop in and get those kills. You can just go ahead and recall here, so we do have a lot of gold, so we don't want to overextend. Nocturne is also up, so we don't want to die to his ultimate either, so I'm gonna start with the AP components. So now we have a lot of burst damage. We have a lot of stacks on our Meta Soul Stealer as well, so we can begin the one-shotting. Thing is, guys, if you're playing against a relatively squishy team, then Electrocute is good, because it is better for snowballing, but if you're playing against a tanky team, then you can also go for Conqueror. That gives you a lot more damage in extended fights, while Electrocute is very good for bursting. Great against squishy champions. And just E out here because we have the minions, otherwise I would probably have died and given away that shutdown. Problem here is that I don't have enough gold for the rocket build, so I did waste some time. That sucks a bit, but I didn't die, so that's great. And we also got the Ignite out and the Caitlyn ultimate, so my teammates can go in. That's a lot of burst damage from Volibear. He's building AP, so he does have a lot of burst damage. Now we can turn that into a Baron because two of their members are down. You don't really take Baron that fast on Katarina, so you can opt to zone the opponents. If they try to walk in, then you can zone them out. But the thing is, with Nash's Tooth, you actually have decent sustained damage. So you're not that bad at taking down objectives either. You're not the fastest for sure, but you still have decent objective clearing speed. Alright, go ahead and recall. So now we have the mythic item. As I mentioned early on, Nash's Tooth is a bigger power spike than your rocket build. But that's why you want to get your Nash's Tooth first, and then you get your mythic item afterwards. Now you can use that active as burst, or you can also use it as a gap closer because it gives you some extra movement speed, so you can use that to get within range. Fight going on here, let's see if we can engage. I'm gonna go on Caitlyn first. As I mentioned, as an assassin, your main target are the squishy champions, the carries. You want to go for the AD carries, the mages. Then use them to get your reset with. When you reset, then you can go for the rest. Oh, nice. I don't know what is he doing. Try to bid Lux, I think. It's a bit unnecessary though, because she isn't really worth a lot of gold. So I'm just gonna tank for him so he doesn't die. Now we have to get away as well because me and Volibear are both low HP. Now any item you buy from here is completely situational, so I can see the opponents are starting to buy MR items, so I'm gonna go for the Void Staff. But if you have a difficult time staying alive, then you can also upgrade that Seeker Sangha to the Sunny's Hourglass, so you have some extra safety, which can help you buy yourself some time in fights. But I think I should be fine here, so just go ahead with the components towards the Void Staff, so I make sure that I stay relevant damage wise. As you can see, Shen is not a problem anymore when it comes to the damage. Volibear is tower diving all the way here. We want to make sure that we're using the Baron as well, so we want to be pushing the middle lane. And the dragon is also spawning soon, so you can take that as well. We can easily dive them as long as we wait out their CC. We have to watch out for the Blitzcrank hook and the Shen's taunt as well. Yeah, I didn't jump in immediately because then Blitzcrank could just hook me and then they could chain CC me to that, so being patient is very important on assassins. Now we can finally break open the base, guys. Of course it is very hard when they have a Lux and a Caitlyn. They are very good at stalling out the game, so that's a problem. I did not respect his ultimate, so I'm gonna end up dying here. Can give away a big shutdown, but we got the Nocturne and Shen ultimate out, so we can actually go. We can force a fight as soon as we respawn. Then hopefully close out the game from there. I don't know why he's doing that. I really hate when people do this, because a lot of the times it ends up backfiring. But yeah, we have the white stuff now, so we're gonna shred Nocturne and Shen as well, so that is great. Now we have a lot of sustained damage. The next item will be the Sonya's Hourglass, guys, and then at the end, when we have enough gold, we can sell the Meta Soul Stealer and then we can purchase the Ravenous Death Cap. I can't see anything because of that Nocturne ultimate. That's a bit annoying, but they're winning that fight, so we have to break open the base right now and get that inhibitor. The Baron is also spawning soon. There we go, we can also take the top tower hopefully because it is really low HP and the minions are coming in here. Just have to watch out for Nocturne, he's respawning soon, so we have to respect his ultimate as well. You are dealing a decent amount of damage to the towers because you have the Nature's Tooth, so it makes Katarina's split pushing potential a bit better as well. She's not the best for sure, but at least good now. Can't really buy anything if a base here, so no point yet. Just have to stay. Go for Shen here. See, that burst damage is just ridiculous. But yeah, in fights it's very important that you try to hit as many people with those daggers on the grounds. That is most of your damage, so if you miss those then your damage will pretty much be zero. Yeah, it's very important that you try to place them in such a way that you can hit as many as possible. Now, really cool trick here, guys, is that your W, if you place it really close to a wall, then you can use that to jump to the other side with. You can use that to unlock gang routes or to escape people. Alright, so hopefully we can close out the game after this Baron here. We do not want the game to extend. When you play Katarina, I mean sure she has a lot of damage, but that's not the problem. The problem is that she's a melee assassin who's very squishy, so in the late game when ADCs and other champions have a lot of damage, you just end up getting one shot. So you want to try to snowball the early game on Katarina and try to close out the games as fast as possible. That is something you have to get really good at. That is very important on assassins especially. Because normally they are a class that falls off the late game. Yeah, I guess our Volibear is just destroying everybody, so that's good. We are spreading out the kills on our team, so it's not just one person sitting on everything, so it's harder for the opponents to shut us down pretty much. Yeah, I also ran it down here to focus. The dragon is spawning soon, and this is a really good one. The infernal one, it's very good on damage heavy carries like the Katarina. More damage is always good on assassins, so now we are losing the stacks on Midas, right? So we want to sell that later on when we have enough gold for the Ravenous Death Cap. Because that is like the ultimate late game item for AP champions. And when it comes to the itemization, guys, you can buy a lot of items. If you need 80 damage, then you can also go for the 80 mythic items and 80 legendary items as well. It depends on what you want to play, but usually right now the most popular build is the one I'm showing right here. That is the one that has the highest win rate as well, so this is the most consistent build. I'm going to be trying to flank Nocturne here. Yeah, that hook really messed me up big time, and this is why I hate buying Sonya's Hourglass when there's a Caitlyn in the enemy team. I ended up dying 2 times in a row, and the thing is Caitlyn can just place a trap when I use my Sonya's Hourglass, and then I'll be trapped as soon as I get out of it, and then I just die. So whenever I play against the Caitlyn, I try to delay the Sonya's Hourglass as much as possible until I really need it. Because she's like the best Sonya's Hourglass counter. You can't do anything when she places that trap. She will damage you and her teammates will be focusing down as well as soon as you come out of it, so it's very annoying to play against her. But yeah, I ended up dying 2 times for no reason, so now we just need to group as a team and then we just run it down mid. The base is open, so we just need to group if possible. Wow, they're absolutely shredding them. Karthus is good late game, so we do have some late game scaling. We also have a Senna. AP Volibear has some crazy damage as Arista camp, so they are dead, so we can go ahead and end the game now. I also want to be in the victory screen, so it looks like I did something this fight. Got a kill, but yeah guys, that was the Katarina guide, so I hope this was helpful. As always, thank you so much for watching and see you guys in the next video.